She finally tells the truth about Paul Newman when she was 95 years old. Joanne Woodward was born in Thomasville, Georgia, on February 27, 1930. Her full name is Joanne Gigny Tremier Woodward. From a very young age, Woodward was interested in stories and the theater. As a child, she got interested in acting by watching movies. Later, she honed her skills in school plays and neighborhood theater productions. She studied drama and got better at what she did at Louisiana State University, where she set her sights on a job that would make her one of the best performers of her time. After finishing school, Joanne Woodward went to New York City to become a professional actress. She became involved in theater and TV during the 1950s boom years after World War II. At the neighborhood playhouse, she studied acting with Sanford Meisner and developed a refined style based on reality and emotional honesty. Early TV roles showed off her natural charm and versatility, preparing the way for a move to movies that would solidify her place among Hollywood's elite. In 1957, Woodward got her big break with the movie The Three Faces of Eve, in which she played a woman with multiple personality disorder in a stunning way. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress for how disturbing and caring she was as the complicated character. In this part, she became a star and became one of the first major actresses in modern film to play a psychological role. Both critics and audiences were blown away by her ability to play very different characters with nuance and sincerity. She set a new bar for how women should act in Hollywood. Woodward made important accomplishments as a producer and director, in addition to her work in movies. She was very good at finding interesting stories and really loved making projects that were important and showed how people live. During the time she worked in the business, which was mostly male, she produced a number of movies and TV shows, often speaking up for women's views. As time went on, she also became very active in the art scene in Connecticut, where she and Newman lived. As artistic head of the Westport Country Playhouse, she brought the old theater back to life and helped young actors and playwrights. Joanne Woodward was an actress for more than 50 years. She was praised for her roles in movies like Summer Wishes, Winter Dreams, The Effect of Gamma Rays on Man in the Moon Merrills, The Drowning Pool, and Mr. and Mrs. Bridge. During her career, she won many awards, including several Emmys and Golden Globes, which confirmed her place as one of the best actresses in America. Not only was her work talented, it was also honest. Woodward always picked parts that were about complicated human emotions instead of roles that were just about fame or glamour. Along with her artistic success, Joanne Woodward was respected for her kindness and quiet generosity. Several charity groups, including the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, which gave kids with serious illnesses fun things to do, were started by her and Newman. Artists and activists today are still moved by the couple's kindness and giving. It was only after Joanne Woodward gracefully aged out of the Hollywood spotlight that her influence got stronger. She became an icon of honor, determination, and being herself. An actor who never gave up her morals to become famous. In her later years, she was devoted to her family, her neighborhood, and the arts, which she loved very much. Even though she isn't as active in public these days, her body of work will always be remembered as a time when movies were smart, talented, and full of heart. Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward met for the first time at their agent's office. It was a normal place, but it would become very important in both of their lives. At the time, neither of them was a well-known actor. They were both just starting out in theater and movies, so their lives were full of unknowns. In 1953, they were both cast as understudies in Tennessee Williams' classic comedic play Picnic on Broadway. This put them in close working contact. Even though they weren't famous at the time, these first meetings set the stage for a relationship that would last a lifetime. They became friends because they both wanted the same things, and admired each other's hard work and skill. During this time, young artists were going through the usual problems. Long rehearsal hours, not much attention, and the constant need to show themselves. However, it also helped a bond grow into something more meaningful, based on shared goals and the knowledge that their paths might one day meet in a bigger way. In 1957, when The Long Hot Summer was being filmed, Woodward and Newman's careers came together in a bigger way. Both stars changed after making the movie. Newman, who was already known for having a strong screen personality, and Woodward, who was about to get a lot of good reviews, were thrown into a project that required both great acting skills and a close bond between the two of them. Working together on this movie showed the personal bond that had grown between them over the years. As they worked together, they had to deal with the stresses of Hollywood's rising fame, the public's close attention, and the emotional demands of playing complicated, passionate characters. At this point, Newman got a divorce from his wife at the time, Jackie Witt, with whom he had 3 children. This made it possible for him to start a more serious relationship with Woodward. On January 29, 1958, Woodward and Newman got married in Las Vegas, which is known for having quick weddings. Their wedding will go down in Hollywood history as the start of one of the longest-lasting relationships in the entertainment business. A few months later, on March 28, 1958, Woodward hit the peak of her career when she won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her truly transformative role as a woman with many personalities in The Three Faces of Eve. The award came at the perfect time, marking both a work victory and a personal milestone in a marriage that would soon become famous for how long it lasted, and how much love there was between the two people. Their marriage lasted an amazing 50 years, which is very unusual in a field where relationships tend to end quickly. Newman died on September 26, 2008, from lung cancer. He left behind a body of work that was both brilliant in movies and deeply personal. When Woodward thinks back on their time together, he says that he's very handsome, sexy, and all those other things. But all of that goes out the window. Last but not least, see if you can make someone laugh. He also makes me laugh a lot. Her words bring out the deep emotional closeness that shaped their marriage, focusing on how humor, companionship, and shared happiness kept them together through decades of fame, personal problems, and the expected problems that come with being together for a long time. Newman was also honest about his relationship with her, saying that it worked because of a mix of lust, respect, patience, and drive. This was a short but very telling way of describing the balance of passion and loyalty that made up their relationship. In interviews, Newman often talked about loyalty with the wit and charm that made him famous. Playboy magazine asked him how he stayed loyal to Woodward during their 30-plus-year marriage, and he said, "I have steak at home. Why do you want to eat hamburgers?" The comment shows not only his loyalty, but also his playful recognition of how much they still like and are connected. It shows that loyalty is a choice based on desire, respect, and satisfaction in a highly bonded relationship. Joanne Woodward and Paul Newman built a family and a way of life together. They had 3 girls. The oldest was born in 1959 and was named Eleanor Teresa, who they called Nell, Melissa Stewart, who was born in 1961, and Clea Olivia, whose birthday is May 13, 1965. In order to be a good mother and have a successful acting job at the same time, Woodward was very dedicated to both. Each girl grew up seeing how dedicated her parents were to each other. They learned from a marriage that, even though it had its problems, showed love, respect, and teamwork. So the story of Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward is more than just a Hollywood love story. It's a testament to love that lasts, working together as a team, and the magic that happens when 2 people keep a personal and artistic bond alive for a lifetime. At age 95, Joanne Woodward finally broke her long-held silence to talk openly about her famous husband, Paul Newman. Woodward was a beautiful actress whose work spanned decades and whose personal life captivated the public almost as much as her performances. Woodward had always kept the private details of her life with Newman a secret, keeping the mystery of one of Hollywood's most famous couples alive. She was known for her poise, grace, and amazing ability. But during a rare moment of serious reflection and openness, she let herself talk honestly about their marriage, their close relationship, and the real things that were going on behind the public's glamorous image. "We loved each other more than anything else in the world," she said, and her voice still had the truthfulness and warmth that made her stand out on and off screen. The love story between Woodward and Newman had captivated the world for decades. Many people in Hollywood looked up to their marriage, which lasted more than 50 years until Newman's death in 2008, a rare find in a field known for short-lived relationships. But Joanne Woodward refused to tell anyone about the private parts of their life together, even though there was a lot of attention and gossip. Now that she was in her mid-90s, she spoke freely, giving a glimpse into the private parts of a relationship that had survived fame, public scrutiny, and the stresses of living a long life together. She said it wasn't always easy. "At times, things got tense, we didn't agree, and life put us to the test, but what held our marriage together was trust, respect for each other, and a love that could handle anything." Not only do Woodward's thoughts show how unique their relationship was, but they also show what kind of character and strength she brought to the relationship. She was a very good actress in her own right, and her career was respected for being smart and varied. For her role in The Three Faces of Eve, she won an Academy Award, and movies like Rachel, Rachel and the Stripper kept people interested. Even though Woodward had done a lot on her own, she often talked about her relationship with Newman as a source of strength and inspiration. She said, "Paul was my partner in every way. He helped me, pushed me, and encouraged me to be the best person I could be. We were equal, but in hard-to-explain ways, we also made each other better." Their love story wasn't just about liking each other or having similar hobbies. It was about a deep emotional bond that went beyond the flashy parts of fame. Joanne Woodward remembered the little things, the quiet habits, and the knowledge they had about each other that had held their life together. "It's the small things that mattered most," she stated. "A look across a crowded room, a pat on the shoulder, and a laugh together in the middle of the chaos. That's what love is all about. Not the big actions or public shows, but the steady, quiet presence of someone who really knows you." In his article, Woodward also talked about how hard it is to keep a friendship going when everyone is watching. Even though she and Newman were both famous, no one got into the important parts of their lives. She said that even though many people thought they knew us, no one really knew how our life together worked. "A lot of talk and gossip in the news about us, but we never let that define us. In its own way, our love was secret and holy." Woodward's voice has a reflective quality when she talks at age 95. It's a mix of nostalgia, respect, and gentle melancholy. She said Paul was amazing in a lot of ways. His kindness, generosity, and sense of right and wrong helped him get through life, and his sense of fun could light up any room. "To have loved someone so much and for so long is a gift I treasure every day, even though he is gone." Joanne Woodward respects Paul Newman's memory by finally sharing her thoughts. She also teaches the world a deep lesson about love, strength, and being yourself. She tells us that even with fame, pressure, and the passing of time, a relationship based on respect, devotion, and real friendship can last, leaving a legacy that goes beyond movies, awards, and the short-lived nature of fame. That was it. Our life together wasn't perfect, but it was real and ours. I will always remember that truth.